thought for the day. Don't be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being the same.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we'll be exploring some powerful self-love habits that will inspire you to embrace your authentic self. Have a listen.
So today, I wanted to share with you some self-love habits that helped me to fall in love with the main character of my own story. Instead of blaming ourselves for the mistakes that we made, what if we see them as opportunities to grow and build character? What if we see each mistake as a lesson learned and treat them just as important as our achievements and our successes? All the failed relationships, the wrong choices I've made, money wasted, friendships that ended, the awkward first-time experiences. I could go on. These memories haunted my subconscious for the longest time, but now I tell myself that I can't keep myself accountable for not knowing any better at the time. As Maya Angelou once said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. I notice that I'm so forgiving and understanding towards other people, so why should it be any different towards me? Now, I take responsibility for my actions, of course, but I try not to blame myself for my lack of knowledge or experience. I also encourage you to ask yourself, did I try my absolute best at that time with the given circumstances? And if the answer is yes, forgive yourself and learn to let it go. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage. Brené Brown, Rising Strong. I am so thankful for my parents who taught me and my sister the importance of emotional intelligence. Our dinner table always flowed with conversation, and they always encouraged us to speak up about how we felt, talk about our struggles and our conflicts in our lives. It wasn't just me and my sister who took center stage, but we also saw our parents be vulnerable with us and open up about what they were going through. Now I know that they were not revealing their weaknesses. They were showing us their courage. Being able to communicate my emotions effectively and comprehensively allowed me to pull different insights from my experiences. Communication is one way to develop my emotional intelligence, but as you guys know, I love to write down my thoughts, listen to music, read on this particular subject, and put myself in many dynamic situations as much as possible. This allows me to let people in my life know what I need, why I need, and clearly set my boundaries and expectations. Having the vocabulary to communicate how we feel can be a roadmap to guide us in this confusing and chaotic world. So I encourage you to also frequently check in with yourself with a simple question: how am I feeling right now? The other day I came across a quote that said, when you say no to someone and they get upset at you, it doesn't mean you should have said yes. I laugh so hard because this is so true, but also because this is the default inner monologue I question when I tell people no. It is so awkward and uncomfortable to say no sometimes, but I always try to remember that saying no to others means saying yes to me. In the past, I allowed my boss, my friends, boyfriends to infiltrate my space and completely take over my time and my life, only to turn around and blame them for overstepping their boundaries. But now I know that it's up to me to establish the boundaries and communicate it clearly to the people in my life. Creating boundaries is a way of valuing my time, respecting my emotional capacity, and honoring the inner introvert in me, whether it's saying no, taking time off for myself, or simply turning off my phone on the weekends. So let me ask you, what specific areas of your life do you need to set boundaries for? How does your boundary setting align with you and your values? We live in a world of scarcity, constantly telling us that we're never good enough, pretty enough, smart enough, rich enough. And this constant pressure to improve and work on ourselves can be absolutely exhausting. Instead of operating through life based on what I don't have and who I'm not, I decided to shift all my focus to who I am and what I already have. Every night, I write down 5 things I'm grateful for. And as simple as this sounds, this habit really shifted my whole worldview, from feeling insufficient to feeling abundant. With this mindset, everything else that I achieve or gain isn't out of necessity, but rather just becomes another blessing in my life. No matter what society tells us, I believe that we are all worthy. Even when we're lazy or having an off day, whether we fail on a huge test or land our dream jobs, whether we break up with someone or we get engaged to someone we love, whether our skin is covered with acne, stretch marks, scars, or it's blemish-free. These are just external factors that will always come and go, but our worthiness is unshakable because it comes from within us.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.